In our last episode, we broke down the economics of a robotaxi ride using Waymo's San Francisco operations as a case study. But once the unit economics are on the paper, the real question becomes how do you scale that model in the real world? Everyone working in AV knows to scale, autonomy isn't the bottleneck anymore. Operations are. Fleet uptime, charging utilization, cleaning SLAs. These are the new constraints and they require a different mindset, not product thinking, platform thinking. That's why most AV companies are shifting from doing everything in house to deploying through strategic partnerships split across tech, demand, and operations. AV companies own the AV stack and focus on improving the unit economics. Rideshare networks handle the demand aggregation, routing, and monetization. Infrastructure partners run the garages, charging and maintenance, keeping the fleet mission ready. This isn't a handoff, it's a closed loop. Misalignment stalls vehicles. Tight orchestration scales fleets. Now let's look at the focus areas of each of these players. While AV companies like Waymo set out to be end-to-end robotaxi providers, they are turning their focus to what drives differentiation, mastering the autonomy stack, from perception and planning to vehicle integration and fleet intelligence. To improve unit economics, they are focusing on one, sensor suite optimization. AV companies are consolidating cameras, LiDARs, radars, and audio sensors into a unified platform, delivering full 360 coverage with higher performance and lower costs. Two, partnering with OEMs. Instead of retrofitting existing cars, AV providers are co-developing autonomy-first vehicles with OEMs designed from the ground up for integration, modularity, and uptime. Three, offloading operations. Charging, cleaning, depot operations, and incident response are increasingly being handled by specialized partners, allowing AV teams to stay lean and focus on scaling core technology. Across the industry, we are hearing the same refrain: own the tech, outsource the ops. It is a focused strategy to scale faster, reduce bottlenecks, and improve per mile economics in real world conditions. Rideshare platforms like Uber and Lyft give AV companies a critical advantage: access to real time demand without needing to build it from scratch. They are designed to match passengers with vehicles quickly, adjust pricing based on supply and demand, and redistribute available vehicles across the network as demand shifts. But autonomy changes the dynamics. In a human driven model, drivers reposition themselves to high demand areas, respond to messages, and flex their hours. In an autonomous model, the fleet is fixed, and rideshare platforms need to one, pre-stage idle AVs using predictive demand models so that vehicles are already near where rides are likely to be requested. Two, redistribute available vehicles throughout the day to avoid supply gaps and oversaturation in any one zone. Three, ensure AVs are always in the right place at the right time so rides keep moving without slowdowns or service blackouts. And for AV companies, this is a massive unlock. They don't have to build rider networks, pricing logic, or dispatch systems from the scratch. Instead, they can plug into a mature demand engine that maximizes the revenue potential of every mile. So, while supply and demand fundamentals remain the same, the execution becomes mechanical, predictive, and platform led. Autonomy might drive itself, but someone has to plug it in, clean it up, and get it back on the road, at least for now. That's where infrastructure partners come in. They handle the hands on work that keeps the fleet moving, cleaning and prepping the vehicles between the rides, managing charging throughput and availability, responding to service alerts, minor collisions and repairs, staffing and scaling depots in every launch market. They are not just support staff, they are the operational anchors critical to sustained deployment. With multi-year SLAs and city-scale responsibilities, they keep the fleet ready without slowing down the core tech team. At scale, this means hiring and training AV-savvy ground teams, meeting strict ride readiness SLAs, managing depot KPIs like uptime and throughput. This layer is what turns autonomy from a prototype into a real-world service. Without it, autonomy stays parked. With it, you can launch and scale in new cities. This three-layered model only works when every player, AV providers, rideshare platforms, and infrastructure operators move in sync. Each solves a different piece of the autonomy puzzle. AV providers build and maintain the autonomy stack. Rideshare platforms drive demand, pricing, and dispatch. Infrastructure operators deliver uptime, readiness, and logistics at street level. But the magic isn't in the handoff, it's in the orchestration. Misalignment breaks the chain. A clean vehicle that isn't charged, a ready car with no ride request, a surge in demand with no fleet availability. That's why the best AV ecosystems are built around shared dashboards, integrated planning cycles, and real time accountability. Everyone sees the same signals, operates from the same priorities, and adapts together. It's about real time coordination, not isolated playbooks. That's the difference between launching in a city and actually scaling in it. At Tars Group, we don't run garages, we help you run them better. We are a management consulting partner that works with AV companies and infrastructure operators to design scalable high performance operations for autonomous vehicles. Our focus, optimizing the systems, people, and processes behind every vehicle that hits the road. We help answer critical questions like, are your SLAs aligned with fleet growth and ride volume? Can your charging and cleaning workflows scale without bottlenecks? Where can automation and real-time dashboards improve decision making? Our approach is built on three core pillars: process optimization, streamline turnaround workflows across cleaning, charging, and service; capability building, design, training, roles, and SOPs that scale across cities; system integration, implement tools that provide live visibility into readiness, throughput, and SLA compliance. When it's time to expand into new market, we don't just advise. We equip your teams with the playbooks, metrics, and readiness audits needed to launch with confidence. We make autonomy operational at scale. Strategic alignment across AV providers, rideshare platforms, and infrastructure operators sets the foundation. But alignment alone doesn't scale fleets. The real challenge isn't proving autonomy works in one city. It's building the systems that make it repeatable everywhere. That means turning SLAs into daily routines, turning dashboards into decisions, turning pilots into playbooks. In our next episode, we'll unpack that leap. How do AV companies go from pilot runs to multi-city rollouts without losing efficiency or control? If you're thinking beyond the first launch to the 5th, to the 10th, to the 15th, this is where scale gets real. Stay tuned.